Dear educators, when the child encounters with the environment, she demonstrates multiple reactions to different emotional situations. And this keeps changing as the child starts learning how to manage her emotions. Therefore, emotional development of every child is of great importance for the educators because this is the way that the child leads to a healthy personality and will be able to manage her emotions in different situations. So in this video, we present you the basic emotions of the children from infancy till middle childhood age. The rest of the span of the life of the child, the emotions will differ, which will be discussed in some other future videos. Please join me. Emotional development is the emergence of the experience, expression, understanding and regulation of emotions from birth and the growth and change in these capacities throughout childhood, adolescence and adulthood. The development of emotions occurs in conjunction with the neural, cognitive and behavioral development and emerges within a particular social and cultural context. Let us get familiarized with basic emotions. These basic emotions are experienced by people worldwide and each consists of three elements: a subjective feeling, a physiological change, and an overt behavior. Some of the basic emotions such as joy, gratitude, serenity, interest, hope, pride, amusement, inspiration, awe, love, they are all from the same three elements. The development of basic emotions starts right from the time the child is born. The infants experience only two general emotions: pleasure and distress. This will rapidly change and more discrete emotions will develop. By 9 months, babies can experience all basic emotions. Human development is considerably influenced by the emotions. Various emotions arise due to different stimuli conditions. Emotions change in form as the child grows into the adult individuals. Most of us educators who are working with the children have experienced the children's emotions, which are very pure in origin, and the children learn gradually how to manage their emotions. There are certain factors in emotional development. These factors are like child's situations and conditions, age of the child, sex of the child, health condition of the child, socioeconomic state of the family, cultural background, environment, whether home, school or neighborhood. All these factors influence the emotional development of the child. You must have noticed the emotional outburst in the children at different age, and you also have experienced the emotional outburst of the boys being different as the girls. A child who is sick has got different kind of emotional outburst, and the child who is healthy enough has a different kind of emotional reactions. So each of these factors influence the emotional development of the child. The children start displaying their emotions right from the beginning. Some of these emotions are positive emotions. The first sign of these emotions and the first sign of socializing is the smile. But in the first month when the child smiles, it's just a reflex response. By 6 weeks, the social smile appears. And by 7 months, smiles towards people encourages interaction and bonding, which have been experienced by most of the parents.
But then this smile is gradually turned into laughter. The child starts laughing. By 3 to 4 months of age, during the activities, particularly while playing with the children, they start laughing with a noise. And by 1 year, they respond to unexpected events. Suddenly something appears and the child starts laughing. And by age of 2, they respond to their own behavior or attempting to make others laugh. So the children learn how to manage this emotion. And this laughter will continue throughout the life of the child, adolescent, and the adults. At the same time, the children learn how to display their negative emotions. Some of these negative emotions are generalized distress. When the newborn is hungry or has some pain or overstimulated, that time the newborn is showing some negative emotion. Then by age of 2 months, the child visible facial expressions matches the situation of anger or sadness in the child. Fear or distress also gradually appears as a negative emotion when the child is 6 to 7 months up to 2 years of age. By seeing a stranger, they show their fear or distress. And when the child reaches to age 7 to 12 months, fear of novel toys, noises, sudden movement brings fear in the child. Some of you might have experienced while you have given a new toy to the child and you have expected the child to be happy, but the child suddenly bursts into tears or cries or is scared because it's a new object to the child. And between age 8 to 15 months, separation anxiety brings fear and distress in the children. In addition to the positive and negative emotions, there are also something called a complex emotion. And this also gets developed in the children as they grow. So these complex emotions are like embarrassment, pride, guilt, or shame. These are known as self-conscious emotions that involve feelings of success when standards are met and feelings of failure when they are not. Here are some examples of social and emotional skills. For example, the child displays self-control, expresses feelings with words, listens and pays attention, pride in accomplishments. The child has a positive self-image. The child asks for help when needed, or she shows affection to familiar people, and the child is aware of other people's feelings. Let us see how the social emotional development happens in early childhood. The early years of life present a unique opportunity to lay the foundation for healthy development. It's a time of great growth and vulnerability. Research on early childhood has underscored the impact of the first 5 years of a child's life on his or her social emotional development. That is why the role of kindergarten comes to becoming a vital role, because this is the first 5 years of the child's growth that this social emotional development happens. Negative early experiences can impair children's mental health and affect their cognitive, behavioral, social emotional development. It is when we ask the parents to stay longer with their children, not to leave them to the hands of the caregivers and neglect or ignore their children's emotional needs. By age 3, the children have the ability to label a few emotional expressions, like they can label happiness. The ability to label anger, fear, and sadness gradually appears between the ages of 4 to 6 months. And the ability to label pride, shame, and guilt gradually appears between the ages of 8 to 9 years. We also should have some knowledge about emotions during middle childhood years. Children during middle childhood years begin to comprehend that people can have mixed feelings. By about 8 years, the children can realize how people can feel good and bad at the same time, which coincides with concrete operational thinking. A child recognizes that a situation can produce two opposing feelings. For example, when a child stays alone at home, has a mixture of feeling being happy as well as scared. Or when you leave the child at the school for the first time, the child has again a mixed emotion that the child starts missing parents as well is happy and excited to go to a new environment. Family has a great role in emotional development of the children. Parents are as role models. How we manage our emotions, that will have impact on the children's emotions. Home environment. If you are making a comfortable home environment, a peaceful environment at home, for sure you are going to develop peaceful emotions in the children. Parents' emotional stability. How much we parents are able to control our emotions, not to get angry all of a sudden, not to be scared out of just small things, or to be able to control our emotions. Parents' relationship has a great impact on the emotional stability and emotional development of the children. Parents' desires and ambitions, like how much you are expecting from your child, that will surely have impact on the emotions of your child. Socioeconomic status of the family, whether the family is in need of some kind of a monetary requirements, or there are sufficient at home, or the children are being given too much, so each of these levels have got its own impact on the emotional development of the children. Behavior of parents towards the child also has a lot of impact on emotional development of the child. At the same time, school has a lot to do with emotional development. Teachers are like parents. Teachers are also role models. How the teachers are managing their emotions, that will have impact on the children. Teachers' emotional stability, behavior of the teacher towards the child, school environment. These all have impact on the child's emotional development. Positive emotions should be reinforced by the teachers. Then only we can see that they will become a part of the child's nature. School curriculum has a lot to do with emotions of the children. Group activities versus individual activities, both are needed for emotional development of the child. And unhealthy competitions among the students, it has to be avoided, because then this is something which will bring a kind of a complex emotion in the students, and that will lead to negative emotions, which will certainly have impact on the personality of the children as they grow. Another thing which is very important is the peer group, and how peer group is influencing the emotional development of the child. For example, homogeneous versus heterogeneous group. Whether your child is playing or interacting with the children of the same sex, like are they all boys or are they all girls, or there is a mixture of boys and girls, it all has impact on the emotional development of the child. The age of the members of the peer group is very important. The reactions towards older or younger friends, whether the children of the same age or some of them are older, some are younger. That's why we always try to put the children according to their age. Fix them or let them join a group which is almost of the same age. Then we can have a better, healthier emotional development. Permanence of the group is also another thing which is important in emotional development. For example, when you change your child's school, the child's friends group changes, peer group changes, and the child may fall into some negative emotions. So, or maybe when you shift your house, the friends which the child had, your neighborhood, the children of the neighborhood, they have changed. So the child will have some emotional outbursts, negative emotional outbursts. So the permanence of the group also matters a lot. let us see how much play has impact on emotional development. In our earlier discussions, we have seen the impact of play on physical development and social development. But now it's quite revealing that emotional development also is being affected by play. Play helps in the revelation and expression of many repressed emotions. Games help the individual get rid of destructive emotions such as feeling of futility, irritability, tendency to quarrel without any reason, and all these gets, kind of vanished when the children start playing a game. Emotional stability is gained through play and games. Child develops the tendency to realistic thinking rather than daydreaming. So I think we should give a lot of importance to play when the children are in their growing age, when their emotions are getting developed. So please give them scope to play, maybe indoor play or outdoor game or whatever, but they need to play so that the emotional development becomes a healthy development. There are also some side effects of negligence of emotional development. If the emotions of the children are being ignored or neglected, then you find stubbornness in the children, you will find secretive behavior, you will see jealousy and rivalry, temper tantrums, unhappy and dissatisfied child, or lack of confidence. So next time, if you see your child has lack of confidence, or if you see some secretive behavior in your child, or if you see some stubbornness in the child, you must refer to this and see what aspect of emotional development has not been taken care of. So this is of a great importance for all the educators, be it the teachers or the parents, to look into emotional development of the children. As we mentioned earlier, smile is the first social reaction of the child. So use your smile to change the world. Don't let the world change your smile.